It's another Fourth Art Saturday video hop organized by Meri Atelier. Please follow the description box below for the links to the other crafters and artists. This month's theme is Christmas or Winter Holidays. Hello survivors, hi family and friends, this is Roy from Bootsie Sweettarts Guide to Life and Other Disappointing Experiences, coming to you from this beautiful winter setting, finishing the holidays with my friends and getting ready for the winter. Do you notice anything in this beautiful setting that might give you a hint to the crafting going on in this video? Well, it's the third video in my trilogy on a stick. And it is a tree on a stick. We're going to make a couple of evergreen trees with crocheted cones. Well, that was fun, having a little carol sing with my close and personal friends. And I hope you enjoyed the little scene, the little vignette that I made that included some trees made out of crochet cones. This video is compacting how I made some of these beautiful little additions to my vignette. Many crochet projects start with crochet circles, and the majority of the circle projects come out as flat crochet circles. And you can go on the internet and find all kinds of instructions on how to crochet a flat circle so that things aren't wonky. And basically, you gotta sometimes adapt it to your own crochet style. Now here's a circle of 12 double crochets. It's really 1 chain 3 and 11 double crochets. And the rule of thumb then is to go back on your second round. This is pretty much the accepted way. And in each double crochet of the first round, you put 2 double crochets. And you do that all the way around. Now to keep this lying flat, we have to add stitches because the circumference of the circle gets bigger. And the rule is, let me get my first double crochet, which is the chain 3. In the same spot, we're going to put another one. So we have 2 double crochets in this one. So in this second round, in the second stitch from the double, we put 1 double crochet. Then we put 2 in the 1 double crochet, and then we put 1, 2, and 1. In the end, we get another flat circle. I'm not going to finish this, but these are all done that way, all of these circles. The next round, you simply repeat the pattern, only you're adding, it's 2 double crochet in 1, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double, 1 double, 2 doubles, and you go around the circle. The following circle will be, the next round would be 2 double crochets in 1, a double crochet, a double crochet, a double crochet, 2 in the following one, and so on. and you get a circle, flat circle. All of these are flat circles. Now, the issue comes in to make a cone. What do we have to do? Well, how does this change it? So I found some more flat circle diagrams online. And really, it's basic math, high school math, which most of us have forgotten, including me. So basically, it's getting rid of some stitches. Now, you know how to make a cone out of a circle, but what's important to see here is that you're removing stitches besides removing paper. If you were making a paper cone. So here's that cone, and the steeper the cone, the more stitches you have to remove. And sooner or later you get a cone that's appropriate for whatever your project is. Now, that looks easy. But I went online to find some formula for making cones, and it got so confusing. But I understand that people with mathematical minds will understand that very, very easily. I, on the other hand, don't. Again, I'm a concrete person. So here's a flat circle that I started. And you can see there's 2 stitches in the second round for every 1 stitch in the first round. To make this start to close up like a cone, I'm going to pull these out and show you one formula. Now, what's important for me to mention is it's a very personal thing. Depends on how tightly you crochet. It depends on the hook and yarn combination. You have to practice. You have to trial and error. At least I did. So now normally we would put in this row 2, 2, 2. But I'm going to take out every other double crochet, 2 double crochets, and make only 1 out of it. So to make a flat circle, I would have 2 in 1, 2 in 1, 2 in 1. But to make a cone where it's starting to curve in, close in, I'm going to try 2 in 1, 1 in 1, 2 in 1, 1 in 1. So now I have the beginnings of a cone. This cone has a fairly wide angle. If you look at it this way, the reduction wasn't that. It may have seemed a lot of reduction, but it turns out it's not. And you have to practice, at least it's my opinion, you have to practice trial and error. So here's that. Let me show you this one. Now, this started with a smaller number in the first round, not 12. This one started with 12. This one started at 12. Yes. This one started at 6 or 8. And you can see now it's really starting to form a cone. This is the 4th row here. And of course, if you want to make it a steeper angle, you reduce it even more. Now here's this one. I reduced drastically but then started to ease up a little. It's got a little piece here. So I get a different form for the cone. You want to make sure the reductions are evenly distributed around the round, or else you'll get a wonky kind of cone. Here now we started, this is the row with the 2 in 1, is 2 in 1 stitch, 1 in 1 stitch. You could reduce this even in this row. This is that second row. Instead of 2 and 1, you could go here, just like you would in the third row, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. And that'll bring this cone in even steeper, more rigid. You can see I have cones, cones and cones and cones. So what do you do with these cones? Cones and cones. Let me just show you this one first before we talk about it. This is move out of the way. These are all double crochets and basically followed the circle, flat circle, but taking out a stitch. It turned out really nice. I like this one. Now this sitting on the mantle is very, very pretty. The green is a little harsh on the screen, but it's pretty in person. What I do next is block them. I have this very expensive tool collection. I could have bought those expensive styrofoam cones. So I went to the party store and got party hats. I covered them with saran wrap, and I take this is a pretty one, we'll show you that in a minute. I take the cone and I put it on the party hat. Let me get a better one that will show this on white here. I put it on the cone and I simply paint it with any kind of stiffener. You can use Mod Podge. I don't suggest Mod Podge. It leaves a little film in between sometimes. These were all done with watered down Elmer's glue, and I think it was 3 coats. And you get a very, very stiff cone out of it. Then you let that sit and dry in between each coat. And you want it with a very strong, this one is very strong cone. And these form the basis of your trees. I love these. And all it is on the final round, I put a row of single crochets. No, actually, it's slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, and it makes this kind of nice ruffled edge on it. This one I glued lace to, and I had one of those little Michael's pom-pom, holiday pom-poms, and you can make them in all different sizes and stack them. Excuse me. So you can start to stack them, and they become really interesting. Here's one of the finished ones. I'm going to move the camera up a bit. Now, this one is simply a bunch, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller cones placed on top of each other. And the base is even easy. See how pretty this is? If you followed my other on a stick members of the trilogy, you'll recognize this base that Bootsie makes in the basement craft room. And there's a dowel in the middle. And these are stacked. They're also glued together to make it sturdy. This can pack away. I make these for the church fair, so I want them to travel well. So here's my little forest, my little village forest. I have all kinds of trees. Here's one that's a different color. So you can see this. I'm thinking Valentine's Day have a pretty red one, maybe all white trees in January, February. The base here is a standard base that Bootsie makes. And you can decorate this any way you want, put packages underneath it. This one is sitting right on the table. They look pretty also just the way they are. Here is, these are spools with a dowel in the middle as a support. So this looks like this. Change the view here. This looks, isn't that pretty? That's cute. Trimming out the forest here. Don't fall. I was lucky enough to find in the thrift store a bag of old Tinker toys, and that turned out to be a treasure trove. They make perfect stands. Now you cover this with fabric or cover it with paper, clay, such. This is an old chopstick. Paint that brown. And you have, oops, another tree with its own stand. Oops, excuse me. Pretty with space to decorate underneath. Miniature figures. Put you over here. Oops, we had a little timber. Here's a bigger spool. Makes a bigger trunk. And these are two cones on each other. I could put that on this one too and make the tree bigger. And that's pretty. This is a Tinker Toy dowel and a spool. Old Coates and Clark. You can buy dowels. They cut in half very easily. If you don't have drills or things to make holes, this is one of those decorative wood pieces from Michael's, or could have even been Home Depot, I don't know, although I don't like Home Depot. And if you don't have a drill, just hot glue a spool and you have a tree and a trunk. There's another one like that. Here's another dowel. This is a Tinker Toy dowel and a Tinker Toy base. This, whoops, this over here came from the home improvement store. I think it goes on the end of a big dowel to cover the end like of a curtain rod. And it makes a perfect base. This is the big tree. This is, the base here is a wagon wheel, some sort of wheel that I bought in a bag at the thrift store that comes with, I guess, when you make those little cars and wagons. Here's a simple one. Just a plain little piece of furring strip, I guess they used to call that, 2 by 2 or 1.5 by 1.5. Another great stand. This is left over from a project I made where I used a circular saw. I just drilled a hole in the middle, put a chopstick in the hole. But, where is that? What I thought you'd like to see is I can decorate the base with one of my, well, two in this case, two of my doilies, and I have like a tree skirt. Oops, oh, the forest is falling down. But you can use your imagination. Can you see the many applications for these trees? Different colors, different yarns, different stitches. So we put this, makes a beautiful presentation as well. So that's my tree on a stick, end of trilogy, the third act. I hope you enjoyed this video and this project. It was a bit haphazard and rushed because of the holiday season and all the busyness that goes on. But it's a fun activity. If you do make crafts for craft fairs, these are delightful. They're very well received. If you like these kind of crafts, please consider subscribing. Please give a thumbs up. It helps my ratings. Please. Oh, what a ploy. Please, but most of all, share this with someone who might be interested. And as always, in these scary, scary times, stay well, stay smart, stay healthy, and bye for now.